Hi everyone. So before the holiday of love is over, I'd like to share with all the women out there some wisdom, some pearls of wisdom about the holiday of love. So first of all, a lot of people know that last night was a full moon and we are in the month of Leo, which is represented by the sun. So we have the full moon and the sun, and together it's like a perfect union, and it's the perfect time for love between a woman and a man, between partnerships, between best friends. But what is love? Is love something that we just go out there and look for and hope to find? Or is love something that we need to invest in and help it grow? I think most of us today know that love is something that we need to invest in. We can almost choose who we want to fall in love with and see how we want to invest in it and how we want it to grow. And today people think that if you fight or if you have an argument, that's it, the love is gone. But that's really not true. Love is there, and actually the arguments, if they're healthy arguments of how we can grow, how we can help each other grow, that's a healthy thing. That's a good thing. But if it's just physical attraction, it's not going to be enough. Most of us know that. So today on the holiday of love, I want you to think about how you can invest in a spiritual union, even if it's a partnership in work, how you can make it grow more. And if in work you have different ideas, that's great. See how you can complement each other. See how you can make each other stronger. So when we say spiritual, it means that it has no beginning and no end. It's a continuous relationship. We build and build and build because relationship is a process and it's not the goal. Having a relationship is really a continuous process. We need to realize that a relationship doesn't end with the definition of a partnership or a wedding or a marriage or whatever it'll be. What it really means is that we're engaging in a lifetime long of a process in which we'll create and develop the relationship between us, between these two people. Having a relationship is a commitment. It's a commitment to continuously work to develop that relationship. And there are many, many different examples. There's an example in the Bible of Isaac and Rebekah, and it says that he chose her and he developed a relationship with her, and then he loved her. So the love appears at the end of the process. And it's a weird, it's the Kabbalists are asking, how can it be that the love appears only at the end? So from this, we can learn something very profound, that through that love is a result of a union. It's not just something that's a given. You can't just have love if you didn't work for it. So the closer the union, the closer the partnership, the more intense the work will be. And the greater the love, the more the love will grow. And these relationships will end up with the wedding because something happened. And now we feel confident enough to start the relationship. The goal is not the wedding. A lot of people think that the goal is the wedding. No, the wedding is just the beginning. Because the love is going to grow and become greater every day. And one thing that we need to do if we want to love someone is decide that we are going to work in a relationship. Decide that we're going to be the force behind the relationship, invest in it, and every day find a little bit more than yesterday that we can grow from, that we can invest in, that we can contribute to. Sometimes we have good times and sometimes we have bad times, but that has nothing to do with the relationship. And love shouldn't affect a union between two people or between a partnership because, it's not about how much I love you when I love you. It's about how much I love you when I can't stand you. And so when we can't stand each other, that's the test. And the ups and downs actually can contribute to that unity between a partnership, between lovers, between whoever it is. So there's no contradiction. It's part of the growth, as long as it's done, of course, with human dignity, with respect. So there's different things that we can talk about that contribute to this kind of love, to this kind of relationship. And the first part is obviously the relationship. A lot of people take the relationship as a given thing. Even relationship with our children, it's not a given thing. Just because we had them doesn't mean that they're automatically connected to us, especially when the kids get older. If we don't invest in our relationship with them, if we don't invest in seeing who they are and building our connection with them, the love is not a given. I mean, we will always love them because that's just who we are, especially as mothers. But the children, it's not necessarily that they'll love us back unless we invest in them as people. Just because they're ours doesn't mean that they agree with everything we say, and everybody who has teenagers knows that. But with respect, with encouragement, with the love, that's how we can make it grow. So in every relationship, every woman wants to be a princess, but I'm not sure that every princess wants to be a princess. Everybody wants to be a famous celebrity, but do you really want it? Do you really want to not be able to go out in the streets and have paparazzi all the time around you? What are you attracted to? Is it love? What do you really love? Why am I saying these examples? It's because when you love something, it's like, I love fish, that's why I eat it, that's why I kill it. That's not love. So when the attraction fades away, when the excitement of a new business fades away, we need to know that that happens in every relationship. And at some point, the attraction will turn into work, but not work from a guilty, heavy point of view. Work from an excitement, to focus on an internal energy of who we are and how we can develop our relationship with each other. Meaning that when I'm looking at another person and the only thing that I'm looking for is what's the physical attraction, what can I get, then I need to know that not necessarily will there be a true partnership there. Because as soon as my physical attraction or my physical needs are fulfilled, then I'm going to look for the next thing. That's not really love. So when you're focusing on a logical connection and what you can get out of it, you're not going to get the spiritual fulfillment. So, everyone today, especially on the Day of Love, talks about soulmates. So let's talk about soulmates for a second. We look at each other and it makes sense. We understand each other. We have such a deep conversation with each other. We believe that saying everything is actually being spiritual. But what we really need to ask ourselves is, can I go my whole life with this person? Do I really believe that this individual is going to allow me to grow, is going to allow me to get to my next level, to my full potential with who I am? Can that person actually be with me? And can I contribute to this person? And even though I don't have a logical explanation, and in most cases, you're going to look for a logical explanation, you need to understand that what we want to look at is going to become a way of understanding our connection. So if I can see myself growing old with this person, if I can see myself in business, making a business for years and years and years with this person, then go for it. Go for it. That's what you should invest in. It's not just the physical. It's not just the physical. It's definitely the spiritual. It's definitely the emotional. Because many times we look at our reality and that we say that we're spiritual. We like to say we're spiritual people. But most of the time, it's not true, because the physical is important to us, and that's okay. Physicality, if you don't have sparks, if you don't have attraction, you definitely shouldn't be with this person. There should be attraction there, but of course, there should be more than that, and we should know how to balance it. So we need to know how to balance the two, the physical attraction and, okay, am I ready for more? And when are you ready for more? Is that person the one that you want to be with? Is it the person that you have the same values with? Because the differences between people, not on a social level, but on a spiritual level, the capacity of the desire that a person has and their true potential and what they can draw down is so important. So another thing that we can think about is an issue for women, not so much for men, but women look at people and situations and they don't measure it by the way it is. Do you know what I'm talking about? They measure it by the way it can be. A woman will look at her man, look at her partner or her child, and she'll say to herself, this is where they can be. Because the power of a woman because we have the power of manifestation, we can manifest that. But don't forget, women, we need to remember that there are people that are not fulfilling their potential yet, which is fine. So you're not marrying the potential. It might be there. You're not with their child. He's 2. He's not at his full potential yet. So hold on. Hold your horses. Don't just jump in. Have patience. That's where the love comes in. The love is something unconditional. When you love someone, you can be with them unconditionally. And you need to have patience to wait for them, because the concept of all is possible, it's perfect. Just wait, be patient. That's true love. True love is letting a person grow and nudging them a little bit, reminding them who they are, not letting them fall, making sure that they believe in themselves, but also knowing when to let go, knowing when to let that person rise and do things on their own. Because as women, the number one thing we do is we like enabling. We like enabling our husbands, our partners, our children, anyone around us. Why? Because we think that if we don't do it, it's not going to get done. Not true. It's investing more time. It's investing education. It's investing that extra minute to explain what you want to get done and teaching them. Teaching a person, any person, is true love. That is true love. So it's very important for us to remember that there's a huge difference between our imagination and what's really happening, and what kind of consciousness, what we're thinking about, how we want to help that person. Because our imagination will take us to their true potential. Our consciousness will be, okay, this is what I'm going to build. This is what requires my involvement in order to get that person there. So it's a difference between being in love and really loving someone. Have you ever heard, I love you, but I'm not in love with you? When everything is possible, it means that you can open yourself to being in a state of a connection in a relationship. Because when you love someone, you can't stop thinking about them. You can't stop thinking how you can help them. You wake up in the morning and you say, okay, what can I do to make this person happy today? Not out of pleasing. There's a difference between pleasing and making a person happy. Pleasing is when you're thinking about yourself. Making a person happy is when you're thinking about them. There's a big difference. So I know I have a lot of questions about, how do I know who my soulmate is? How do I know if he's the right person? You know, at a certain age, it's not about soulmates. It's about who can you be with that together you can grow and help the world. Who can you give to, not who you can get from. You don't go out on a date and think, okay, this is what I need, this is what I want, can he fulfill it? That's not love. You can, go, get people to do things for you. Love is when you look at this person and you say, I know that the two of us together can make a difference in the world. If it's a partnership in business, if it's a love relationship, if it's whatever it is, I know that this person is the person that I feel the most comfortable with and the most uncomfortable with. The most uncomfortable with from a place of, I know that this person can help me grow. I know that I can help this person grow. I know that I can help this person reach where he needs to be. So the relationship is just a way for us to grow and develop with each other and to learn that everything is possible. So it's not just about soulmates. It's possible that a partner for your business will not be an easy relationship, but it'll help you grow. As a matter of fact, when we speak about soulmates, we teach in Kabbalah that it's not necessarily going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy relationship, but there definitely is a tremendous amount of desire to be together. There's definitely a tremendous amount of desire to go out of ourselves and know that together we can change the world. When I met Eliyahu in the beginning, I have to tell you a secret. I wasn't in love with him. It wasn't love at first sight. But slowly we got to know each other, and we got to work together, and we got to see how together we can help people. And that's what built the strong connection between us. It wasn't just, okay, just the two of us and, what are we going to do today and how we can love each other and the flowers and all of that is important. I'm not saying I don't love flowers or presents or, till today he buys me presents and I buy him things. But it's not about that. It's about, like I said before, how much do I love you when I can't stand you? And how much do I love you when I know that you can do better than this? And if you know Eliyahu, you know how much he pushes me and you know how much I push him, but it's out of love. It's because we know what is best for each other, because we are committed to a relationship. And I know that today, unfortunately in our generation, either people don't get married anymore, or they think that if there's fighting, that's it. Let's throw everything away and we're done. It just doesn't work. Now, I'm not saying that if there's abusive relationships, obviously, run, don't stay there. But if the relationship, I always say to couples, first, do you love this person? Because, love on everything that I'm explaining on a practical level is one thing, and then the love that you feel inside is another. So if you feel that love, then it's worth working on. It's definitely worth working on. Because a spiritual path is a path that we choose when we want to work on ourselves and help other people. What's a spiritual path? A spiritual path isn't sitting on a mountain somewhere meditating by ourselves. No, a spiritual path is when you have people around you that love you very much and that will push you to your limit and beyond, because they know how much you can benefit from it and how much people in the world can benefit from it. So don't be afraid of love, because love is messy. Love is not comfortable sometimes. Love isn't always roses. It can be roses, but if there's no arguments, if it's all roses, if everything is quiet, run for the hills. It's not love. Love is when two people, two partners, two whatever it is, want to make it grow. If it's the relationship, if it's the business, if it's the partnership, whatever it is, they don't want to stay stagnant. Staying stagnant is not love. Staying stagnant means I'm afraid to take a risk. Well, when you love someone, you take risks every second, but not risks to put yourself in danger, risks that can every day make yourselves grow. Every day can get better and better. So on this day of love, I want to wish all of us that we'll be able to invest in each other, that we'll be able to find people around us that love us and that we love them. And that we know that the relationships we have in our lives are an integral part of our existence. It's an integral part of our soul, of my life, of my purpose. And that a healthy relationship is that there's always a desire to transform, always a desire to grow. A true relationship is built on sincere desire to transform, sincere desire to grow and to have the love grow. And if it doesn't matter if it's a parent or a child or a business partnership or a marriage, whoever it is, everybody needs to be able to grow on a constant basis. So the goal is not the marriage or the partnership or the contract. That's just the beginning. The goal is to be able to see yourselves 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now and see the fruits of your relationship, see the fruits of your growth, and cherish that. Cherish the love every single second with your child, with your partner, with your soulmate, with whoever it is, because every day has these little pearls of love that you can capture. And that love comes, and I can tell you in our family, that love comes when we talk about things, when we put everything on the table and we're not embarrassed. We're not embarrassed to say, I messed up, or I exaggerated, or I just love you so much I can hug you, or I miss you. Those are the nice things that everybody wants to hear. So cherish your relationships, cherish your love, and love you all. Thank you.